Right now, every breath you take contains 21% oxygen, the invisible gas that keeps life on Earth thriving. It's in the air, in the water, and even in the ground beneath your feet. But what if, for just 5 seconds, all the oxygen in the atmosphere suddenly disappeared? Would we suffocate? Would buildings collapse? Would airplanes fall from the sky? The answer is more terrifying than you think. Let's break it down. To understand the impact, we first need to look at how much oxygen plays a role in our daily lives. Humans rely on oxygen to survive. We can only go about 3 minutes without it before brain damage sets in. The oceans hold oxygen, keeping marine life alive. Our atmosphere is 21% oxygen, and while nitrogen makes up most of the air, oxygen is what allows combustion, metabolism, and even the structural integrity of our buildings to exist. Now, 5 seconds might not sound like a long time, but what happens in that brief moment could be catastrophic. Let's teleport ourselves to the exact second oxygen disappears. First, the sky changes instantly. Without oxygen, the sky would no longer be blue. It would turn pitch black. Why? Because oxygen helps scatter sunlight, and without it, the light wouldn't diffuse. Next, your skin begins to burn. The protective ozone layer, made of oxygen, disappears instantly. That means you are now exposed to the full force of the sun's UV rays. And in just 5 seconds, your skin starts to burn severely. Metals begin to fuse together. Normally, oxygen creates a thin protective layer on metal, preventing surfaces from welding together. Without it, every piece of uncoated metal, bridges, buildings, cars, suddenly starts bonding together at an atomic level. Then, everything made of concrete collapses. Why? Because oxygen binds to carbon to make the compounds that hold concrete together. Without oxygen, buildings crumble into dust. And if you were on an airplane, it would fall from the sky. Oxygen is necessary for combustion, which means jet fuel would instantly stop burning. All airborne planes would become powerless gliders. As oxygen returns after 5 seconds, the damage is already done. Fires won't suddenly reignite. Buildings won't magically rebuild. The world as we know it would never be the same. So why would all of this happen in just 5 seconds? The atmosphere would collapse. Right now, oxygen makes up 21% of the atmosphere. If it vanished, air pressure would drop dramatically, causing our ears to rupture instantly. Humans wouldn't suffocate, but it would be painful. Our bodies store oxygen in our blood for a short period, so we wouldn't instantly die. However, the lack of air pressure would cause nitrogen in our blood to expand, leading to severe internal injuries similar to decompression sickness. Water would instantly lose volume. H2O is made of 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom. Without oxygen, all water molecules would break apart, instantly evaporating into hydrogen gas. This means oceans, rivers, and lakes would start disappearing at an alarming rate. Fire would be extinguished everywhere. Oxygen is a key ingredient for combustion. In an instant, every fire on Earth would go out, whether it's a forest fire or a small flame in a candle. Let's put these effects into numbers. 3 million airplanes worldwide would lose power mid-flight. 70% of Earth's surface would begin to dry out as water molecules break apart. $100 trillion in infrastructure damage as buildings collapse instantly. 90% of marine life would die if oxygen didn't return quickly. 5 seconds is all it takes to wipe out much of what we take for granted. Now, what if only a portion of the Earth lost oxygen instead of the whole planet? If oxygen only disappeared in a single region, air currents would immediately rush in from other areas, restoring it almost instantly. If it happened on a smaller scale, such as inside a sealed room, the person inside would suffer immediate decompression effects, but wouldn't instantly die. If we gradually reduced oxygen levels instead of removing it instantly, people would start feeling dizzy and weak, much like altitude sickness. But in our scenario, there's no gradual reduction. It's an immediate, absolute removal of oxygen, and the results would be devastating. Would humans just suffocate instantly? No, your body stores a few seconds worth of oxygen in your bloodstream, so you wouldn't die immediately. However, the lack of air pressure would cause nitrogen bubbles to form in your blood, leading to painful internal injuries. Would we just float in space? No, gravity is not dependent on oxygen, so the planet would stay intact. However, without an atmosphere, space-like conditions would briefly exist. Could we just hold our breath? Not really. The lack of atmospheric pressure would cause our lungs to expand uncontrollably, leading to severe lung damage. So, what would happen if Earth lost oxygen for just 5 seconds? The sky would turn black and we'd feel an intense heat. Every building made of concrete would collapse. Metal objects would fuse together instantly. All airplanes would fall from the sky. Water molecules would begin to break apart. While life might technically survive, the damage would be irreversible. It's a terrifying reminder of just how fragile our planet's balance really is. If the world lost oxygen for 5 seconds, where would you want to be? Safe in an underground bunker? Out in the open? Let us know in the comments. If you love mind-blowing what-if scenarios like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a video. And next time, we'll explore an even crazier question. What if the sun disappeared for 24 hours? See you in the next one.